Please join me in reciting our pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for your provision and your blessings you bestowed upon the city. We ask for your guidance. We ask for your wisdom as we make decisions for the city of Boonville. And we ask you to bless us in 2026. Amen.
Amen. Thanks, Luke.
Goodable,
Here.
Davis,
Here.
Bechtel,
Here.
Young,
Here.
Meadows,
Here.
Howard,
Here.
Harville,
Here.
Elbert.
Here. All right, ladies, you're up.
Yep, oh yeah, you're all turn.
Y'all were waiting for me? Okay, so good evening, everyone. I'm Renata Mason, Public Affairs Specialist with the U.S. Small Business Administration. I'm with the Office of Disaster Recovery and Resilience, and this is LaMonica Lacey. And first, Happy New Year. I appreciate you all giving us an opportunity to speak today, and the reason that we are here is to provide information to your county, Cooper County, who was listed as one of the counties in a presidential declaration that was declared October 22nd. We are a little bit late to the party, I'll be very honest. The declaration was declared October 22nd, and this is storms that stem from March 30th through April 8th. However, there still is federal funding available to those that may have been impacted, whether it was from the straight lines, the flooding, or the tornadoes. So we wanted to make sure that everyone had information to know that there are resources available, and to let you all know just a summary, because it's a lot, on what those resources look like. These are small interest rate loans. For any homeowner or renter, that interest rate is at a 2.75%. For renters, they may qualify for up to $100,000. For homeowners, they may qualify for up to $500,000. That can go towards the real estate and repairs of their home, whether it's debris removal, insurance deductibles, landscaping, anything of that nature. Even though they may have used funding already to repair, they can use the funding to reimburse themselves. They can also get an additional $100,000 for homeowners as well to help replace or repair any personal property, including automobiles. And for our businesses that may have been impacted, whether it's for physical or non-physical damages, they may qualify for up to $2 million at an interest rate starting at 4%. And so when I speak on the non-physical side, if there's any business in the area that may not have gotten any physical damages and they've seen a loss an interruption in their business or a loss in revenue, they can use our funding for working capital. The same goes for nonprofits in the area that may have been impacted. Their interest rate is at 3.625%. All our loans across the board have a 1-year deferral, so they have 1 year before they have to make payments, up to 30 years on the loan terms, and they can prepay and pay off the loan beforehand if need be. But in addition to that, if there's any homeowners or any businesses, because I have been in Missouri since May, it has been a busy, busy year for the state with disasters. And so I'm saying that to say that we also can provide an additional 20% for mitigation. And so if you know of anyone, even yourselves or anyone in the area that may have been physically impacted and need additional funding to help in the rebuilding of stronger, better, they can use the funding for that as well. And it does not have to be the type of, it doesn't have to be the type of damages they may have sustained for this one. So this was the flooding, the tornadoes, and the straight line winds. But if anyone who has been impacted physically sees a need for any funding to elevate a home, for fire protection, for a stronger roof or something of that, they can use the funding for that as well. That can be an additional up to $500,000 for any homeowner that may need that additional funding as well. So wanted to make sure that we have the information. We are in the grace period of that. The initial deadline was December 22nd, but we have a 60-day grace period on that. So the deadline to apply is February the 20th for any physical damage, and for any business or nonprofit for economic injury, that deadline is not until July 22nd. So wanted to get that information out. Thank you, Amber, for assisting in this. And I don't know if you had any information emailed, but I do have some hard copies for you all. Well, I'll share that with you if that's okay.
Yes.
And then I will email you. There's another flyer that just allows, because this one has the initial deadline, but there's a grace period, as I mentioned, so I'll send that to you by email.
Sounds great.
Okay. Thank you all again.
Thank you.
you, ma'am. Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am, have you had many people take advantage of the funding in the county?
Yes, so, in Cooper County, I will say that overall, because I know the number in my head right now, so I'm going to speak overall for the entire declaration. We've had almost 1 million in approvals. Majority of that has gone to homeowners and renters that have taken advantage, homeowners more than the renters that have taken advantage of it. But we are still pushing the thing. But what I will do is I can email just a breakdown to see how many have taken advantage in Cooper County.
Okay.
Sure. One additional question too is, since this is recorded and broadcast, is there somewhere that if people are interested, they could go today and check? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, thank you. So there's not a physical location. However, if anyone is interested in applying, they can visit our website at sba.gov/disaster. And our customer service number, if anyone has any questions or need any answers or run into any issues, it's 1-800-659-2955.
Perfect.
Now, say that
Good.
again, please.
The number,
1-800-what?
1-800-659-2955.
Now, did you do anything out there at Pilot Grove when they got hit by a tornado last year? Was you out there?
Oh, that for
And
the,
Pilot Grove got hit by a tornado.
yes, that's part of it too. Yes, so we actually had so in Pilot Grove, we did do a disaster recovery center. We were running a circuit. So of this declaration here, there were 20 primary counties that were impacted, and of the 20, we did a circuit of disaster recovery centers of 19 of them, and Cooper County was one. I had the opportunity to meet the emergency manager there and everything.
Okay.
Good for you.
Can your information be left like at the library or the local radio station? I know that a lot of public service announcements go out through both those venues if you have information to leave.
Absolutely, yes. May I leave my business cards as well?
Sure,
Yes.
absolutely.
Okay, I will do that.
Because
And
I
then,
have Tana's business card,
Okay.
but that's it, that's all I have.
okay, I'm going to get mine,
Okay.
and then so you can have mine too.
Are we doing the KWRT show this week?
Yeah.
Is this on the agenda for that? I'm sure
I
it is.
can.
Okay.
I can make it now.
Let's make it happen.
More exciting than what else?
It is now.
This is a good one. Let's throw that into the Kate Fagel show on KWRT.
Okay, I'll get my business card.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any changes on the December 15 council minutes? All right, they will be accepted. Consent items.
Thank you.
Consider pay app number 8 in the amount of $22,009.60 to Hydrovac of Missouri for lead survey line inventory. Do we want to do both of these at the same time or
Yes,
one
please.
at a time?
Same time.
Item B, consider pay app number 3 in the amount of $95,263.56 to C.L. Richardson Construction for water and sewer improvements. Is there a motion?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion, we approve the above consent items.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second that.
Venable.
Whitney.
Whitney
got it.
Okay. Questions or comments?
Is this it on the hydrovac?
Can't hear you.
Is
No,
this,
no, there will be at least a final, it might be retainage and a little bit, the retainage that we've been keeping, there'll be one more, there'll be a final one.
Good question. Anybody else? Roll call.
Venable,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Bechtel,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Coward,
Yes.
Marvel,
yes.
Elbert.
Yes. Okay, item 6, presentation of accounts and claims.
Be it ordained by the council of the city of Boonville as follows. Section 1, for the purpose of paying salaries and various accounts against the city of Boonville, which have been allowed by the council at the regular meeting thereof on January 5th, 2026, the sum of $499,235.34. General fund, $152,516.89. Sanitation, $3,837.22. CIP tax, $28,810.56. Waterworks, $162,763.69. Capital projects, $18,267.97. Wastewater, $87,426.09. Tourism, $5,274.70. Gaming, $38,673.51. Parks and Water, $1,664.71. Kemper sales tax, $0.00. Economic Development Projects, $0.00. Section 2, the accountant is hereby authorized and instructed to draw checks on the respective city bank accounts in favor of the persons whose salaries and accounts have been allowed as above, amounting to $499,235.34, being the total amount of money being appropriated. Section 3, this ordinance shall take effect and be in force from and after its passage. First reading, January 5th, 2026, read for the second time this January 5th, 2026, as a copy was made available prior to the meeting.
Second reading, title only.
Ordinance appropriating money.
Mayor, I move that we approve this ordinance appropriating money.
All right, thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion or questions? Roll call.
Venable,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Bechtel,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Howard,
Yes.
Carbone,
Yes.
Elbert.
Yes.
Motion passes. Item 7, unfinished business. Second reading of bill number 2025-031, approving a final site plan for AECI Utility Services at 2415 Mid-America Industrial Drive.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri approving the final site plan for AECI Utility Solutions, 2415 Mid-America Industrial Drive, Boonville, Cooper County, Missouri, providing an effective date therefore and repealing all ordinances in conflict with this ordinance.
Questions or comments?
Mayor, I make a motion to approve this.
All right, we have a motion.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. Roll call.
Venable,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Bechtel,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Howard,
Yes.
Carbone,
Yes.
Elbert.
Yes.
Motion passes. Item 8, new business. First reading of bill number 2026-01, amending chapter 20, streets and sidewalks, filling and surfacing, easy for you to say, and appendix G.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, amending Chapter 20, Streets and Sidewalks, and Appendix G, Schedule of Fees, providing an effective date therefore, and repealing all ordinances in conflict with this ordinance.
That's the first reading? Okay. Item 9, reports of standing committees. Boonville Housing Authority.
The information's in the packet. They're in the process of replacing HVAC in the 2 and 3 bedroom houses, and they hope to be done with that part of it by mid-January.
Okay. Any questions for Susan? Okay.
Are we still at full capacity?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Reports of city officials, item 10. Mayor, I have nothing. City administrator?
Originally, I thought we would have a work session, but since the agenda looked pretty light, I thought we'll just put it at the end, so you guys didn't have to come early. Tonight, just really quickly, I want to talk over a few things: the admin, the airport, debt service, and economic development. We're primarily talking operational costs, so we're not quite to all the capital side. I did include some capital for you guys to see, but it's relatively minor, and it will kind of get fine-tuned when we get to the gaming portion of the city's budget. So First, I just want to say we're about a year in to having Jim around, and he's happy to answer any questions, but he said I could talk for him first. So, so his budget is on page 48. You can see the operational costs are staying pretty much steady, and I did provide information on the services that he's planning to utilize, and those are.
How come I don't have a page 48?
No.
I don't know. Oh, because you're on a different packet. Because you don't have the full packet.
Ah, I'm not
Because
full.
he is the short packet. That's.
Thank you.
Yep. And then just preceding.
46.
Yeah, okay. It's there somewhere.
It's almost 48.
Okay. It's the page after this one, whatever your page
Your page
is.
numbers might be different than our page numbers.
My page number is 18, by
Yeah.
the way, so.
All right, I think I'm all,
Okay.
We're here.
All right, so, if you guys remember previously, we had other staff coming out of economic development. Teresa came out of economic development. She's no longer out of there. So Jim is the only staff person coming in out of this. And then, primarily his money this year is going, if you go on the preceding page, there's a section under economic development, subscription and dues. This is several software pieces that he is using to help with business development, entrepreneurial support, and pretty much whatever else we maybe need. So you guys have seen Placer AI in action. We've given you several of those reports. The other ones he uses more often when he's talking to businesses or recruiting people. And then you'll just see the organizations that he's proposing to be a member of. None of this is unusual. Most of these things were around when we had in-house economic development. It was carried over to the BCDC was carrying some of these costs when we were just giving them a lump sum. And I think there's some discussion about the BCDC covering some of these costs, but they haven't met to discuss their budget quite yet. So some of those might come out. Otherwise, I think that's about it. I think Jim is doing a nice job, and I'm grateful to have him here. He does a lot for us. Besides just doing cool Placer reports, he's very helpful. So it's nice to have another person in the office all the time, and I think it's been a good addition to the staff.
Are
So
we still seeing partial funding through the county on economic development,
the BCDC receives partial funding,
but not directly to the Office of Economic Development?
but not to the city, right?
All right, thanks.
So if you remember previously, we gave 80,000 and they gave 40, some amount annually, and then they had the employee, but we've just brought it back in-house.
Okay.
And so now we don't give BCDC any other additional support.
Kate, and this may be a question for Jim as well. Do we use any key indicators for measuring economic development impact? Like, are we looking at benchmark from where we began and where we end up and how
That's a
we?
Jim question.
Here he comes.
So generally, yes, but they're usually project-based. So like AECI, you'll see that one of the software that is listed here is Lightcast. So Lightcast is a well-accepted methodology in the economic world of doing impact analysis of input-output models. Most projects have a direct and indirect and induced economic impact. So direct is going to be measured in,
Tax base,
fixing
things like
fixing the building in the first place,
Yep.
that kind of thing. Indirect is going to be those things that 6 new employees is going to generate the need for another waitress at
Lagging indicators for their
yeah,
impact?
those kinds of things. So Lightcast has a accepted model for that, and so that's one of the ways we use that. So in general, what I try to keep track of is really our gross regional product over time. But we either get the macro or the micro. There isn't a big measure in between day to day, because day to day isn't really that. I mean, it varies quite a bit day to day.
Do we use anything internally for economic performance for the city? And let me back up from that. Not indicators, but do we have targets? So if we look at growth, are we looking for a 4% annual? I guess it's essentially like our GDP, right? Gross regional product.
Well, so the indicator that affects, that where the city sees the effects of that most is going to be in sales tax growth. And so Kate uses a figure that is the basis of the budget talks that happen here, and that's expected growth over time. Part of that might be driven by changes in rates, but largely it's driven by changes in consumption.
But do we have actual targets that we use as a city?
I don't create one.
No. And the growth is very modest.
Okay.
And 2% is like, we're really making it.
2%. And can we see that anywhere? Is there like trending economic growth over time?
I track it, and then I get individual, so like, I can see the sales tax returns, but I think you guys have heard this before, they like literally make no sense, because some people pay quarterly, some people pay monthly, and then all of a sudden someone gets a bunch of money back, and they're like, okay, I don't know what happened there, and so it's not as easy to track like month over month, although it's relatively consistent, but year over year we do look, and I have I get the monthly numbers and I track them, but it's just, there's not much growth. That's what I'm going to tell you. And it's relatively modest. And it's also hard because the time at which people are paying into the state at different times, just use, like let's say Peddler's Jamboree or something. It's like a big event. You're like, oh, lots of people are in town. So that's in May. It's not like in June, the sales tax receipts are huge. It's not like like you can necessarily tie things. So without speaking one-on-one to businesses, if you were curious, it's very difficult, but yeah, our growth is relatively modest. The use tax has always been kind of a wild card, and part of that is again because if a corporation purchases a piece of machinery or something, or maybe not machinery because I think some of that's sales tax done, but something like they might buy $1 million piece of equipment, so that's a big sales tax coming in.
And that also has like a 5-year, 10-year
right, but
depreciation
like,
curve on it.
but you can't necessarily count on that. And there again, I can see who's paying in on the use tax, but oftentimes, it could be ABC Industries. Well, I don't know who those people are, so it's not like oh, that's the new laser cut or something. You just don't know what it is. So. I track it, but I think honestly this year it's kind of slowed down a little bit too. So, I think if we have 2% growth, personally, I think the other marker for us is always going to be water growth. So water sales, that's an indicator and an important one for us. For people who've been around the table a long time, it's hard to do the necessary upgrades that are required to stay in compliance with the state if your water users are never growing. So, if we've had 1,300 users since 1950, 1950 costs don't, so like if all of a sudden now we have, 1,500, 1,600 users, I think that's a better number in looking at those revenues coming in. And then of course, businesses coming in are helpful too.
Of course, and that was less oversight, more exploratory in nature, right? If we look at what are our leading indicators, right? Like, are we trending in the right direction? Just from a curiosity point of view, I didn't know if we had a means of measure that we say, you know what, we will have a 5% rate or a 5% increase in water usage because we can see our key indicators ticking up 18 months in advance.
Yeah, you can kind of see, that would, again, it's going to be more on your housing. That's why you want to annex. That's why we want to grow. You want more houses being built in your community. And we are seeing those numbers. It's just a modest growth. I can't remember. I think I saw the number of building permits Steve issued this year, and it was probably in like 30s or 20,
45 is the number I heard.
45, okay.
So growth.
Yeah, so that's, but I always think too that we need to be mindful of having manageable growth. I don't think any of us want to be in a place where your population is, doubling in a couple of years. That's equally difficult. So it is managed growth.
Yep.
But I do think for the city's health, the water and the sewer is a good indicator. The sales tax, of course, is crucial. It's the primary backbone of the general fund. But
it's the output.
But it's hard. It's just hard to really wrap your arms around sales tax. It's not as clear cut as a number as you wish it would be.
Sure.
but
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that
Yeah,
answer.
so,
Yeah.
so from the economic development side, so my focus is on primary job creation, which is jobs that import wealth into the community. And that is a differentiator between retail and service that's in the community. Not that those jobs aren't important, and certainly I'm here to help, but my focus every day is really on jobs typically in manufacturing are the best example. And just to draw that out a little bit, it is like an employee at Caterpillar puts his or her effort into making a part that goes into a D8. That D8 gets sold to another country. Some percentage, small percentage of that sales price finds its way back into Boonville to pay for that worker for the work that was done out here at Caterpillar. So that's bringing wealth into the community, as opposed to a retail business here in town, which are all important. I'm not belittling them, but most retail businesses here are more us exchanging dollars amongst ourselves.
Yep.
So my focus every day is really on bringing in those external dollars. And that's very much a sales funnel. You've seen my reports. You have these prospects, some fall off the list, some get added to the list, and your drive is to get them landed here.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
any other questions for Jim?
Just one real quick one on the special events budget.
So we try to hold some money aside,
Okay.
and I don't know how
what does that
Kate.
entail exactly?
So I don't know how Kate classifies it. So it's going to be the case where we have a site visit. So we may have 20 people come and view a site as prospects. And that might be overnight lodging, that might be
Dinner,
transportation,
whatever,
dinners, all those kinds of things. We had money set aside in this year's budget and didn't use, let me be optimistic, have not used it
Well,
yet.
I was going to say, so you're going right down the path which I was hoping you would go, which is I sure hope we can use this in a beneficial way.
Yeah.
Like I'm okay with having in the budget and jumping it from, $3,000 to $10,000. That's all well and
Yeah.
good. It's kind of one of those things. It's almost like an R&D on our perspective from
Yeah.
the city. Whereas if we can use it and it does attract another Kawasaki
Yeah,
or
yeah.
another whatever, it's a great use of funds. So anyway, I thought that's where it was. I just wanted to make sure. So
Yeah, that's correct. Any other questions?
One quick one. Why did we see the variance from 30205 dues and publications, 14,000 to 3,500, and then the prospected is 40?
Yeah,
So-
Where's
so-
that coming from?
go ahead.
Oh, Kate, you can,
So if you look on the page before it, all of those
Software?
software pieces, I'm putting into that number.
Or did they live somewhere else prior to that, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
well, so economic development didn't pay for half a placer last year. Tourism did all of that. But last year's economic development budget was put together kind of after the budget process had already begun. So we used last year's budget Kate had allocated it. I think we're more in alignment this year of having the right things in the right holes.
Yep.
And that, and we're not going over budget anyway, but.
So not a net increase, just a repositioning
It's
of
just
budget line item?
repositioning, yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you look like the economic services dropped
Services,
way
yeah.
down. So yeah, I just kind of like, I'm trying to more appropriately account for things and software programs are it's one of those things, I guess the categories that were created in 1960 are sometimes tricky to decide, is this a due or is this a subscription?
Publication,
Yeah, so, I'm just trying to make it a little more standardized across the board.
All the magazines we're getting
Yeah,
delivered to the house?
that's right.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Jim? All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, sir.
All right, next up is the airport. You will see that it's pretty much the same year over year. The increased expenses are on gas, and you'll notice I didn't even put a number for gas. That it's really just a placeholder. There's a number in
Safe
there,
travels.
but it just depends
Thank you,
on
ladies.
how much we sell at the end of the year. there is a revenue on the offset in the '01 budget, so, you know, that we receive from that. So that's part of why it looks a little light right now. Also, this year we had some more buildings and grounds maintenance, a few more things. This year, in terms of capital projects, it's a very quiet year. We used literally all 5 years of non-entitlement funds and this year's already, so we're like back to banking. To bring down the cost for the runway rehab that we did, or the T-hanger lane rehab. So,
Yeah,
so
just
this-
to interject there real quick. So the airport board has been pretty vocal about being grateful for the 1.3 million that we spent there. I'm really glad to see that, so we did budget the 10,000 for the fence. As Fox Hollow grows and there's more kids and dogs and things, I'm really glad to see that we're doing that. And I know that'll be welcome news to the airport crew, as I kind of call the group out there. So I'm glad we're doing that. I think it's definitely a good thing. As small as it is, it's a very important thing, and one that's probably overdue.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree on that, that's involved in the airport. So anyway, just if anything comes up regarding that, like if anyone has questions, is it necessary, something we need to do? It's absolutely something we need to do, and it's an important piece to the security of the airport, not only for those using the airport, but for those not.
Yep.
So
And we're gonna do that in-house. Paul doesn't even know. Oh, Teresa just whispered. Oh, the parks crew is going back in the fence business, so they've had a reprieve since we finished the soccer field 5 years ago. So now it's time to bring the band back together. So this way it'll just go towards the material. So
is
that
it going to the west side wall? Do we know what the project scope is just yet, Kate, or no?
I just put money into it, and I
Fair
thought
enough.
we'll just
Good.
go
That's
until
fine.
we run out of money.
Yep, fair enough. Okay.
Just build on down the line, kind of thing.
Yep.
So otherwise, the rest of it is kind of standard. There's no big changes in that budget, and no major capital occurring. So debt service, I see I put the admin budget first, but that's okay. Debt service. I put all the details on the debt service in case you're interested to know what our debt service is and what we're paying for. It's worth noting, I guess, that I say this every year, but we're getting closer to paying off our debt. So, there's going to be some cash freeing up, which is going to be really good. So, like I said, the ladder truck is paid off in 28, 29. 2010 refunding is paid off next year, so that's a big one. 29, 30. And 28, 29. So within the next 5 years, we'll have a significant reduction in the city's debt, which will be nice. I don't plan on doing anything big, but I will never say never. So who knows what might come along. But when I first started, I think on the horizon, our next big thing was concerned about the water treatment plant. Possibly needing an upgrade, but I don't think wastewater treatment plant. The wastewater treatment plant, but it got re-rated, and I don't think it's gonna be an issue right now. So, but again, never say never. And there are some very large projects necessary, which we'll talk about at the next meeting on the wastewater and the water side, that we may end up wanting to bundle if the interest rates look lower, just so we can knock some out. Some of those things I'll just precursor. They're on the blue sky list, which tells you that they're not funded. But lowering the intake at the Missouri River so that as the river gets drier, we don't run out of water. There's significant upgrades that need to happen at the wastewater treatment plant and the water. So there's just a lot of big projects that are all have lots of zeros behind them. So we're going to try to work them out, but at some point in time, that might be a discussion, but not today. So also I told you where we actually pay these out of, and then also where they're reimbursed. So if you're curious where the money goes, now you'll know. Gaming reimburses most of our debt. So it's important that the casino continues to sort of be steady, as it helps provide the funding for this and provides significant capital project money for us. So it makes budgeting a little bit less stressful to have that income. And then on the administration side, I have put in the operations. That's, again, there's no major surprises. I don't know if I wrote this in here, but I'm working off a 3 to 6% increase on salaries this year, or 3.5 to 6. So that's kind of the increase on the salary personnel side is for that. The rest of it is kind of,
Okay, can I ask one question? Line 30905 on election expenses, we had 5,500 for the budget, and then we're projecting 5,500 for the budget, but we got a projection amount of 13,000?
yeah,
What
it's
is that?
because we had 2 ballot questions last year. We had the CIP tax,
Yeah,
and that cost $13,000 to run that election.
really?
Yeah, yes, as opposed to about 5,000 just, if it's just a regular council people election, you
Yeah.
know, just a regular one, but because when you have more than one question, it gets more expensive.
More questions are more expensive.
Yeah,
Duly noted from the guy who asked a lot of questions.
yeah.
Start charging
Now,
them.
I know,
asking
man,
them,
I gotta know what the
asking them
rate
are
is.
free, Tanner.
Yeah, asking them are free.
Printing them.
Printing them out and getting people to sign off and making sure it's real, that's
Yeah.
right. Okay, fair enough.
And you'll note also worth noting, if you look at the projected on the tax collection and assessor, it's a little lower than I budgeted. I've dropped it a little bit from what our budget was, but again, you know, as we build 45 new houses, that budget will go
Yeah.
up a little bit, but I do think this is continuing to be fruitful, and I'm hopeful that we'll have an agreement again in February. I think we're almost time to meet again
Oh
to
my
discuss
gosh.
that. Yeah.
That's up to, oh, gosh.
So, I'm happy to answer any questions about the admin budget. Again, there's not this is just kind of the business side. It's, you'll see it just doesn't grow very much. We don't spend too much more, on our pens and pencils than we have to. So we try to operate as well as we can. I will note there is a few admin capital that I just put in here because I wanted you guys to be aware of them. And this is, well, I don't know, it's on my page 46, but it's right after the memo. It's primarily here, so the council chambers is the recipient of some really necessary upgrades. First is cameras and streaming upgrades. So we have had the same system since 2012. So if anyone
Yes.
works in IT, you know that we are limping this along. And if you're wondering, the camera, like, no one can even see your face. It's just bad. So
Sometimes cannot be bad.
so it's time to do those upgrades and get that started. I have put money in for the new awning at City Hall. Yes, it's a lot of money for an awning.
Crazy.
I've had it in there a couple times and I just haven't really pulled the trigger. I've left it in here again. It's the original awning from 2012. It just is time. It's just hard to believe that's how much money an awning costs. So since we're here doing cameras, I'm gonna go ahead and do the security cameras here as well. And then also the council chamber security entrance. So we're slowly converting from keys to cards. That's just a general security system. It helps track when people are coming in and out. It also makes access easier, frankly, for everyone, because now people can go in the building if they have the card and maybe they don't have the key, you know, so it's working out a little bit better. Police and City Hall currently have them, so then and then all the department heads have keys to come in the back door at City Hall. So this will add this building as well. And then I'm hoping to fill in on Public Works, and Public Works will pay for their key card entrance as well. So, it's just good. It's redundancy in terms of tracking people and making sure. And I've also have always said, that previously, I hope nothing ever happens, but since the nice ladies from the SBA were here today, that I joked that if something terrible happened and we had a major disaster, that none of us had anything that said we're affiliated with the city. So I felt like we should have some sort of card that said we were who said who we were, and should be able to come in. So that's part of it too. It's just security so that everybody knows.
It also helps prevent access as
Yes.
well. If you have
It
somebody
does.
you need to take access from, you
Yep.
can do it instantly.
Yes. So those are it. Those are the primary plans for I say City Hall, City Council. We kind of count these as one in the same building, outside of any other like computers and our sort of regular purchase items. So I've already got these coming out of gaming, and I think I can fit them into that contingent or the major projects and initiatives fund, which is where we put those in. So I think that's all I had in here. You're gonna be really excited because next week we're gonna talk about all things water and wastewater, and Kevin is gonna lead you through thousands of pages of information.
Next week or next meeting?
Next meeting.
Okay.
And we probably are gonna do that before council.
Yeah.
Kevin's laughing.
I'm excited, Kevin.
Tanner hasn't been through it yet.
I think we'll
It's naivety, but I'm excited.
probably do 6:15. I think you guys can do 45 minutes. If we need to spill over into the council meeting, we can. And then I did just include the health budget, which we already approved the increase, but this is just, so now you know where it's going. Again, it's staying pretty standard. Any increases are going towards the salaries and then paying WM. So that's for your information. Any questions?
It'll be on that Tuesday with Martin Luther King.
Yes, it'll be on Tuesday. And if I said Monday, I'm sorry.
Oh, the 20th,
Well,
right?
first of all, you said next week.
I did say next week.
Tuesday, sorry.
So that's, sorry, that's gonna be the 20th at 6 or 6:30?
6:15.
It's 6.
Okay.
Thank you.
Maybe we'll bring you dinner. You never know.
We should probably just, I don't know, do 6, but.
Oh, and tourism. Tourism gets to come too, so maybe we should do 6. We better do 6.
6 o'clock.
6 it is.
Yeah, I forgot about tourism getting stuck in
Why
there.
don't you wait till I have it written down?
Okay,
All right, 6 o'clock?
yes.
6 o'clock.
And we will, probably for that, we will bring you guys dinner. Just never know what it'll be.
Council. Good,
Okay?
Yep.
Done.
nice, well done. City clerk?
Yeah. I was
That's
expecting you-
dangerous.
I wasn't
That's
expecting you to call me,
dangerous.
sorry. I just want to give an update on the candidates that filed for the upcoming election in April. So we have 3 candidates that filed for mayor, and that is Mike Conway, Morris Carter, and Tanner. And then, on this side, we'll have, for Ward 1, we'll have Steve and Hallie Thompson. And then, sorry. Ward 2 is Evan Milkersman, Ward 3 is Andrew, and Ward 4 is Cy. So that's who we got filed and coming up. That's
Good.
all I have.
City councilor?
Nothing.
All right. Are you alive? All right, we already did the economic developer.
No, I'm back.
Oh, what a surprise!
Bad penny. Bad penny's back.
Get after it, Jim.
So there's two, my report the report you see from me corresponds to the meeting of the BCDC, and they met once in between Thanksgiving and Christmas, so I don't have that for you, but next time they meet, I'll have that report for you. But I wanted to make you aware of 2 things that are in your packet. First is an upcoming event on angel investing. So this is in your packet. It's January 13th at 5:30 p.m. You all are welcome to attend. It's a general information session for entrepreneurs, for potential investors, and really just anyone who wants to know how angel investing works, that kind of thing. If you do intend on coming, I would appreciate it if you give me an RSVP, and feel free to pass this information on to any of your constituents you think might be interested. But I'd like to get the proprietor of WJ's account prior to that night, so if you could RSVP. So any questions about that?
Yeah, who's this targeted to? The investors or the people needing funds?
Either.
Either.
And I have both types coming.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's really more of an informational session about how angel investment works. What does it take to be an accredited investor? What should entrepreneurs look out for as they take equity investment? Those kind of general things. It's really an introductory session. The second thing that's in your packet is a memo from me For several months, as you've asked me how projects, how the top of the project funnel is getting filled, you've asked me how that's been going, and I've said it's been challenging, and I've said two things. One is our uncertain, our somewhat chaotic public policy towards external and foreign investment or foreign direct investment, and the other is energy. And those energy concerns are being highlighted by data center projects, but it's the same problem when it comes to manufacturing projects, which is what I've conveyed to you all in the past, which is what the Missouri Partnership has told me. Well, I wanted to make you aware that we did have a project come up that is Project Beagle. We could meet the requirements of this project in all respects, other than having sufficient energy from Ameren to be able to do the project. So I did go ahead and submit the project, so our name is in the hat. It's still at the multi-state phase, so it may be months before we hear anything back. But this is the first time that I've encountered an incident where, or a project, not an incident, but a project where we did not have sufficient power as requested. So I'm just making you aware of that. So that it's on your radar. We will continue to advocate from our energy suppliers, both Ameren and Como, to have sufficient energy. And Kate and I are working on setting up a meeting. Ameren's already made one visit to my office after this. I was pretty upset by this. But Kate and I are working along with Jeff to set up another meeting with them to have a follow-up.
Their data center or something? Or
This is manufacturing.
10 megawatt?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So what the Missouri Partnership told me is that today's manufacturing is becoming so automated, is that the equipment it takes to do the automated manufacturing are huge power draws, and those are becoming limiting factors.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I don't know which plant it is. You all might be able to infer, but Ameren told me that our largest user today in Boonville is 5 megawatts. So I don't know which one of the plants it is actually, but that's what it is now. So this would be double the usage of our largest plant now for far fewer people.
Jim, I have to imagine that the group that's using 5 megawatts now is probably going to use 10 megawatts 5 years from now, right?
Right.
Or something close to that. Did Ameren share with you a broader strategy for what their infrastructure plans were to address that at scale?
So no, but that's certainly going to be a topic of conversation when they come visit. So being a Boonville native, I feel like we get the short end of the stick a lot. So as you saw in my memo, Ameren is making all kinds of investments to the east of here, which, given the size of Chesterfield and all the St. Louis County, I get it, they have to do that. And I know they have some long-term plans in place to do facilities upgrades. But I was a little surprised that in this request, it's 3 to 5 years out at the earliest, which makes us irrelevant for this project if that's true. Although they did come on to say that could be sped up with the right amount of money. Okay, well, that's fine. But so I feel like other areas of Ameren's service territory are getting more attention than we are. And so I want to find out what their plan is for us.
That's really concerning to me. So the two newest data centers in Missouri are in Festus and Forestville, and the electric provider for both of those is Ameren.
Mm-hmm.
So they're investing east by St. Louis and not caring about here.
Well, even closer than that is a very large facility that's in Montgomery County. So near the exit that goes to Herman and, gosh, what's the city that's right there on the, anyway, it's in Montgomery.
Kingdom City.
No, is it Montgomery City?
It's Montgomery City.
On Highway 19?
Yeah, but right there at the exit
I
is
got
the,
that.
anyway,
Yeah.
it's near the interstate.
Belleville.
It's a 1,700 acre project for Amazon. It's been well publicized.
New Florence.
Huh?
New Florence.
New Florence, that's
Oh,
the.
okay.
And So that project is proposed to be serviced by Ameren. And to do that, they have to do an extension of the Grain Belt Express for 32 miles to be able to service that site. Late last week, so the holidays are kind of messing me up, but late last week, so the Grain Belt Express, just to take you back a little bit, has been a highly controversial project from its start. But last week, Farm Bureau filed whatever paperwork they need to file with the Missouri Public Service Commission to act on behalf of all the landowners along that 31-mile track between wherever the Grain Belt Express is that's north of I-70, 31 miles to this site. Anyway, it's crazy what's going on in the data center world, but that has to be a 500 megawatt site, maybe?
Yeah. It's AI driven everything, yeah.
Yeah.
And Tanner, to your earlier point about how do you measure this, like these variables outside of our hands makes it like so difficult.
And there's no real, there's no real economic model that gets that sort of investment here, right? That's it. Hopefully someday, but to get a data center here or to get something of that scale here to sweeten the pot for Ameren, it's like a chicken or the egg concept. That's the part that's troubling, is we're kind of stuck in between two variables that we can't control either one on. And is it possible for us to lean on the Economic Council, I forget the acronym, MRAC, or our elected officials or anybody to highlight this opportunity or this challenge? Because it can't just be us in this region, right? It limits other communities' ability to develop economically if they don't have access to the power.
So I think we have some opportunities ahead of us that don't rely on the current model, but that cake isn't fully baked yet.
I'm not sure, because you also, BCDC's got to look at things as key indicators, like you were talking about.
Yeah.
What do you consider the key indicators? To me, getting a data center in Boonville wouldn't be one.
No.
So, you know, the one thing you guys did talk about, because you talked about taxes, water spouts. The other one I think that was missed that I would consider a key indicator would be housing and/or factory building space.
Starts, yeah. Or
And
square
how
footage.
much is it filled? Are we at 20% capacity? Are we whatever? Key indicator would be, say, by the end of the year, we want to be at 10%, cut our capacity in half. But I'm not sure because some of these data centers, the way that I look at it, I'm not sure the citizens of Boonville would want some of this stuff here. I mean, I really, like anything that's going into Festus or Forrestal, that what they're getting, we don't want.
We do not want that, no. Just from a consumption, I can't imagine from a water consumption point of view, it would put a lot of pressure on our infrastructure at scale, but manufacturing obviously brings a lot of jobs, right? That's the part that offsets a lot of the...
Not on a per dollar invested basis, not as much as it used to due to automation.
Sure. Yep.
But yes.
But it brings in higher paying jobs, right? Higher tax
Correct.
base. Like,
And primary jobs, the importation of wealth.
what's our next move with them? What's our strategy with them moving forward? Ameren.
We're working to set up a meeting with not only our local account representatives on the on the gas and electric side, but also have them bring down their economic development staff out of St. Louis to talk to us.
Good luck.
Can Como help at all? I mean,
So
I always like to challenge people, so.
If they're in the territory, it has to be in the territory. I mean, the territories are defined now, so as long as a project is in Como's territory.
Yeah.
And
But in my initial speaking with Como, just generally, is that, you know, they're a member-driven organization, and while they like predictable growth, their members are farmers and people who live in outlying areas. Their primary focus is not industry or data centers.
Yeah. Well, I know one of the pieces of land we had talked about before was out pretty close to Como territory in southeast. So, you know, if we're looking at close to Como territory, we might not even have to rely on Ameren, so.
True, but I don't, so I don't know the answer to this because it's very location specific, but,
Yeah.
but generally speaking, the electric cooperatives don't have the excess capacity that the
Yeah, they're a
investor-owned do.
purchaser of electricity.
Yeah.
They basically buy from Central Electric.
Right, which is also a cooperative, so.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.
Any miscellaneous? Is there a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All in favor, stand up and leave. Thanks, y'all.